Hello, beautiful souls. Today I'm going to read a channeled message that came from the Council of Nine in, I think it was April of last year, 2019. And I just found it today when I was clearing out some files, and I'm not even sure if I shared it before, but it definitely is worth repeating, especially in this time. We all know that in a couple of days there's a major event happening that could very well impact us all. And I feel like this message from the Council of Nine will really give us a focus of what we can be especially focusing on in the next couple of days and even after when we see the outcome. So I wanted to share it with you today. It's very empowering and really telling us how to be in these times, and just felt like it was a great support. And also at the end, I may link it. I may do a light language video separate from this. And if I get that done, I'll link it to this one as well, so that we can use just the light language to anchor in what is coming through in this message. It's incredible how relevant this message is a year later, more than a year later. So here it is. I'm going to be reading this message from the Council of Nine. I hope it will open up for me while I have this going. Let me see. Here we go. And so it is, dear ones. It is our great joy and delight to come before the great pillars of light upon this earth. For you see, dear ones, you who are reading this message, hearing this message, you are the pillars for the new energies to anchor into. You are the pillars of light that allow this great time of change to manifest upon this beautiful planet Earth. And it is our great joy and delight to be before you. In these times of great transition, many, such as this channel, are very tired. Tired because it is a lot of work to be born into a third density reality and live in that density for so many decades, and then do the work of morphing into a new species. And I just want to add here, last week, the energies were so intense, and I participated in Patricia Cota Robley's event, where it was the 34th Congress on Illumination, where she was calling light workers together and anchoring in powerful energy. And on the second day in the meditation, I just went completely out and asked the guides about it afterwards. And they said, I have come with the conscious intention to be of service by anchoring in this energy. And I was taken completely out so that my body could really take it in. And then for days after, I was so tired. And I know a lot of you experience this. It's not like a kind of tired after just running 10K and the body just needs time to recover. It's like every cell of your being is in complete fatigue. And so it took me days to recover from that. So it can be hard when you have work to do and sessions to work with, when you're holding that level of fatigue. But it's also part of what we've come to do at this time. We're going through this huge transition, and we're anchoring a lot of light into the earth. That's what's allowing us to ascend. So kudos to all the light workers out there who are doing this or experiencing whatever ascension symptoms that you're experiencing. For some, it's a lot of headaches. We're all doing a lot of work, even physically, let alone the emotional and intentional work that we're doing. So be kind and gentle to each other and give yourself the space that you need, because really nothing is more important than doing this work of anchoring in the light and shifting the world in the way that we are. So back to the channel. For those who follow the more recent generations, the work is not so hard. At least not in the physical body as it is for the front runners. And so it is to those of you who are feeling the fatigue as you integrate yet another blast of energy upon your sacred planet, and you find your physical bodies having to integrate these ever-expanding uploads of energy, that we first commend you for your work. It can be exhausting, and yet we know you would not miss it for anything. for it is what you came here for. You came here to be emissaries of light in times of turmoil. You came here to be channels of Creator light when most of the world seemed lost to the love of the divine. Oh yes, there is much darkness on this planet of free will. There has been much interference, and now what you are seeing changing before your very eyes, although many of you are having trouble believing it, is that your world is changing. We know that part is not hard to see. The change is evident. What we speak of now is what it is changing into. Most of you see the chaos, the hatred that seems to be growing, and it is. Most of you see the people struggling and being displaced, and you see the children being abused. All of this is transpiring as your world returns to the light. For you see, beloveds, that which is not of the light must be brought out of the shadows as the light shines brighter on earth. Can you see this? Can you understand why this must be so? Can you see how all this darkness is truly a sign that the light is shining brighter? Indeed, it is so. The reason that all this hatred and darkness is so prevalent in your world right now is because what was for so long hidden behind the dark curtain is now being revealed by the increase of light on your planet. When you shine enough light into a room, the shadows no longer exist. However, what was there is still there, only revealed now in the light that is streaming into the room. Suddenly you can see the cobwebs in the corners and the dust on the table. It was always there, but less visible when there was less light. And so it is in your world right now. What you are seeing and what is coming to light is what has always been there, but hidden from you. We say this so that you can avoid falling into fear when you feel like suddenly there is more hatred, more war, more evil in your world. That is not so. There is now more light that is bringing all of this darkness to the light of day. They are using these analogies about the use of light in our language so that we can connect with how they were used in the past and when they became a part of our language, a time when there was a greater understanding in one's daily expression about the power of light. Yes, we want you to see how much you use light in your language, for it is time to return to that understanding. For we ask you, what is the light? What does that mean to you? Let us clarify that you have the great analogy in your duality existence of light and dark, good and evil. The good guys wear white and the bad guys wear black. That is because you have always known that the shadow of darkness is there, the black, and the goodness of light has always been there as well, in a great battle to return Earth to its original intention, to be a planet of love. That was lost long ago, but not forever. You are returning to your light as beings of love. You are returning as you cry out against the evil that has existed on this plane of existence and harm that has brought about. And so we come before you this day to say that all is well. Oh, you may question that. How can you say all is well? Do you not see what is happening? Of course we see, and we say, all is well. The light is winning over the dark, and enough of humanity is waking up to the way of it, all to be a force against the evil and darkness that has been ruling this earth for far too long. The love that you awaken within you will be the love that creates a new world. Do you see this, beloveds? Your world needs more love, that is apparent. And that love comes from you, each one of you. The more you can live in this chaos and see love, the more you will see pure love in your world. That is the magic. That is the untold truth. You must be the light you seek. You must find the way to hold a vision in your inner world that is not necessarily a reflection of the vision that you see in the outside world. That is how you make change. That is how you demand a new direction. Change happens because people have a vision. The more they share, the more that vision expands. It starts with one thought and expands in the original thinker. Then they share that thought and it expands in another. Soon it is gathering momentum as it is shared with more and more. That is what we are here for. We are here to support you in creating the new vision of the new life you want for yourself and all of humanity. We are here to create the new vision for this precious planet and all life that lives upon her. And I just want to say here that we all know that change doesn't happen at the top. It's the people who will demand change, because at the top things become very comfortable and also there is interference there. And so as we come back to ourselves and know that we deserve much better and demand through our own healing that change happens, then we will begin to see it in the outside world. So this process of being able to see one thing on the outside and not engage with it, totally disengage from it. We have to remove any judgment of it and simply be the stillness in the presence of what we are seeing. I've done videos recently about that, and this is what they're talking about. This is how we're going to create a new world, by disengaging from that which we don't want to have our reality on the outside. By disengaging, we disempower. The more we engage in what we don't like, the more we empower it. So if we want to envision something new and bring something new into our world, we first have to disengage the emotional attachment to what we see that we don't like. And then through our imagination, through our intention, through our faith and our knowing that the light will be victorious, we then envision a world that we choose to be in, and we hold that faithfully within our hearts, knowing that in this new frequency, that old energy can't remain. And so as we hold that faith that the higher frequency that we have been anchoring in will not support the energy that is dissolving, then we can have that faith that as we project a world of love where people truly care for one another and honor one another and support one another, we are changing the world on the ground as we project that and as we share that, as they have just said, with one another, and hold the faith and have faith in the light that this change is the old structure falling apart and the new world being created. Then we are empowering this world that we would rather be living in. So back again to the Council of Nine. Beloveds, know that you have the power to change it all. You have the power to be at peace with what is. This is a choice you must make. You can get lost in the media that is feeding you fear and lies so that you will stay hypnotized. Or you can make the choice to step back into your power as a sovereign human being and find the will of the Creator within yourself and put that force of light back into your veins and proclaim from a state of full empowerment your right to be and do as you choose. And we all know this is very important right now to be proclaiming this. Beloveds, many of you are waiting to be rescued, and we say to you that simply is not going to happen. You came here as empowered beings, and you must show yourselves that you have that power. You must take responsibility for your own life and decide what you will accept. It is time to let go of the fear that has held you back for so long. Courage is required to break out of the old paradigm and dare to be different. Many are doing this. They are giving up the corporate world, realizing that it is a life of slavery. Instead, they are choosing the freedom of living how they choose, doing what they love. And what do they have to give up in order to make that happen? the seeming security of the 9-to-5 job, the imagined dependence on the paycheck. The truth is that most who live that way spend most of the paycheck on things and stuff, trying to find the joy that would come from choosing a simpler life. We say to you that many who choose a simpler life are much, much, much happier than when they were in the corporate world. Yes, you may have to settle on less income, and yet many find that there is such an increase of freedom that it feels like gain, not loss. And so we say to you, dearest beloved channels of light on this sacred planet Earth, we love you so. We send encouragement to believe in your dreams, in your desires. Do not dismiss them as impossible. Anything, and we mean pretty much anything, is possible. The only problem is that you are trained to have limited thinking. You are trained to stop yourselves from dreaming big. Look for it within yourself and you will see it. What are your dreams? What would you like to see change in your life? Ask yourself that, and then ask, why aren't you making the change? Why aren't you living the dream? What fear comes up immediately as soon as you have the vision of change? Do you tell yourself that your house is so grand that you couldn't possibly give it up or sell it? Do you tell yourself that the security of your salary is so strong that you wouldn't dare challenge the universe to replace it? What do you convince yourself of, not knowing the expansiveness of the universe? The truth is, life could offer you so much that you would have trouble accepting it. But you cannot see it, and therefore you don't believe in it. You have lost the way of magic. You have lost the faith that life is working for you instead of against you. You limited your thinking, allowing the mind to control you instead of believing in the inner promptings of the heart. Most of you don't even recognize what your heart wants because you won't allow yourself to accept the change that may be required in following your heart. So, we leave you this day and ask you to take these questions into consideration. Do you want change in your life? How is that going to happen if you are not willing to change your way of life? How can you ask for life to change without being willing to change? We want you to know that if you believe it can be so, the universe will support you. But you must believe it. You cannot say, okay, the universe is going to support me in leaving my job and moving into the wilderness and making a living online, while also holding the belief that it won't work. You must be in harmonic resonance within your heart with the faith that you will be looked after. Then it will be so. As we have said, you are creating your reality. So, beloveds, we invite you to begin by believing that your life can be different from what you currently are living. That is the hardest part for most humans to learn in these new energies. You must find the way to believe in something better while still living the life you are choosing to change. This is the beginning practice. Allow this to be your mantra. Even though my life appears to be limited by whatever, say lack of money, I know I am an expanded being, and I now choose and receive whatever, great abundance. Do this over and over until you start to believe it is possible. Even though my life appears to be limited by lack of money, I know I am an expanded being, and I now choose and receive great abundance. Then start noticing where you feel abundant, and know, beloveds, that this word abundant is a conscious choice. It means more than money. It means loving relationships, enough food to eat, enough financial resources to meet your needs, enough personal time for relaxation. All of this comes into a life well lived. It is more than money. It allows room for riches to come from other sources than just money. Perhaps you have a garden to grow all your produce, thus requiring less money. Perhaps you have friends who help out with household needs. Perhaps you have an older car but more time to play. And so we leave you now as we offer these light transmissions of understanding the new way of being human on this beloved earth. The changes that are upon you are not going to suddenly disappear as life falls back into the old way of being. That would be fruitless. Instead, you must learn how to navigate these times and find balance and stasis within yourself amidst the change. That is the way of it, and that is the way back to your power as a human. It is within you. Do not give your power to another in any way. Do not pretend to be weak. Give up the feeling of being a victim. You are only a victim if you decide to be so. You do not need to know the way forward and out of victimhood. You only need to be willing to return to a state of empowerment and let your guides and angels know that is what you are choosing. And they will support you in the movement forward into your strength and the knowing that you have all you need to be the empowered human that you are. It is a choice. Choose to see the light of love around you, dear ones. Choose to find your way back to the spark of light that is the divine within you. All is moving toward love in your world. The darkness is being illuminated. Do not get lost in the despair of what is being revealed by the light. Instead, remember that as the shadows are cast out of the room, what is revealed must find its way to the light. As it is illumined, it is no longer dark. We will leave this for your consideration. Know that all the love of the divine is available to you. Remember to ask for our support and the support of your guides. When you ask, all the love of the many realms of existence bow to support you. We love you so. We encourage you to remember your brilliance, and we bow to you for the courage and bravery of being here in these transformative times of evolution upon this your planet Earth. And so it is. We are the Council of Nine, beloved channels of the Creator of all that is. And so, my dear friends, as we know in these next few days, and the outcome of the event of these next few days is going to require us to really be able to be in the eye of the storm while we're watching all the chaos around us and really hold the faith that we are returning to the light. I feel that it may look like things are lost for a while, and that there will be a lot of chaos. And again, if we just hold faith in the light and ask that the highest and best for all humanity be the outcome that we see, then we are inviting the higher intelligence, the higher guidance to come in to support that outcome. We, as humans, don't always know what would be the best outcome. We tend to have our thoughts and our beliefs and our projections, but we are limited in our awareness and our understanding, and limited in what's going on in the underpinnings. And so if we simply ask for the highest outcome for all humanity and for the earth, then we're giving it over, but we're also offering that outcome become reality. If we invite it in, then the guides can come in and work through us. And I feel that's vitally important. So if you would like to be able to read this, I put it as a post on my website. So I'll put a link to the blog post in the description below in case you want to print it off and just be able to absorb it in a different way. I know for me, I'm more of a visual learner than an auditory learner. And so I like to be able to read things. And I will just also remind you about my book, The Spiritual Seeker's Guide to Happiness. It is 350 pages of channeling from the Council of Nine, and many use it. They just open it up It's full of essays from the Council of Nine. They just open it up and ask for guidance for their day. And that is available through my website, and the links are below. And please do subscribe and like to support this channel and support this work that comes through me. I'm so honored to be able to bring through this information from the Elohim and the Council of Nine, and more recently from Ashtar as well. It's my greatest joy and delight, and also working with you personally also brings so much pleasure. And just another thing too, I have started my Pathway to Ascension calls. It's 2-hour live online calls where I'm discussing different things at different times. And that is also available on my website. You'll see it on the homepage. And if you would like to donate, donations are so gratefully received. And there is a donation button on my website. I think it works through a computer. Someone told me they weren't able to do it through their phone. I'm not sure if I looked after that or not. So anyway, there it is. Thank you so much for being present, for holding the love and light, for holding the space of this creation of the new earth, that we will see the light again and know that we have restored this beautiful planet to love. I believe that in all my heart, and we are doing this together. So much love to you all.